We all know Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions style of football, aggressiveness and going for it on fourth down. And as a Lions fan, this either brings you great joy or a great depression of you screaming, why did the Lions go for it? Last season, the Detroit Lions ranked second in fourth down attempts during the regular season behind the Panthers, who went for it for a total of 48 times. But the Lions, when facing a fourth down on offense, went for it 34% of the time, which is the highest rate of any team since 2000. I'm going to be reviewing all 45 times the Lions went for it on fourth down last season and give it a grade A, B, C, D, or F on if I would go for it or not, and the play call. The first one comes in the Lions' second fourth down of the season. The fake punt direct snap to Jalen Reeves-Maybin gets the first down. This one blew everyone away. Nobody was expecting it. It's an A for me because of the surprise. Dan Campbell really showed he has balls of steel. The second one is just before halftime. Fourth down, Goff throws it out of bounds and takes it to the half. Here, the Lions have a 1-point lead, just under 3 minutes left, over midfield, 4th and 2. They don't get it. I understand going for it here. The Lions in this game, they're playing to win. They wanted to take it home, but giving Patrick Mahomes a short field, only down by 1 point. They just need a field goal. I would have liked to see a punt here, but the defense was playing pretty good, and the Lions ended up winning this game. And obviously, it's easier to grade these once you know the final result. On to week 2, 4th and 4 from the 30-yard line. Goff drops back, and the pass is broken up by Witherspoon. I like the play call here, trying to get the ball to Laporta. Could be a field goal though. It's still early game. I'd give it a C, because, you know, the Lions, they want to be aggressive. It'd be a longer field goal, but a field goal there could be the difference. In the red zone, 4th and 3, you've already shown you're being aggressive. Why stop now? Close game, third quarter. I love the play call, the trick play to St. Brown. It works out perfectly. This one, 4th and 2, not even across midfield. You have a 4-point lead. Still a whole other quarter to be played. They don't get it. The play call is all right. It's a busted play. I'm giving this one a D because you're not even across midfield. Just because it's 4th and short doesn't mean you should go for it. I just don't like this move no matter the outcome. It's too risky. You shouldn't be risking this much at this point in the game. Hopefully MCDC and the Lions maybe tone down or have better selections for their fourth down. They definitely did in the playoffs last year. Week 4 against the Packers. Fuck the Packers. 2 fourth down attempts in the fourth quarter. The first one on the goal line. I love when the Lions go for it on fourth down at the 1-yard line and run it up the middle with their offensive line, their running backs. I think that just gives them the highest success rate. Sometimes I think Ben Johnson gets a little bit too creative on the goal line. Just hand it off, run it up the middle again. Even if you run up the middle 3 times in a row, it's bound to work out. Easy A for me. Laid on the Packers. And the next one, another A. Just getting the first down at the end of the game to seal it, take home the victory. Not much at risk here. Against the Panthers, 4th and 4, already up by 7 in the second quarter. Goff drops back and dumps it off to Monty behind the line to gain. Doesn't get it. I'd give this one a B-. I like going for it here. You're up by 7. It's against the Panthers, not really worried about turning the ball over to Bryce Young. If it's against another team though, I would rather punt or kick the long field goal. Shortly after, near the same field position, 4th and 1, still up by 7. Just hand it off to Monty. The Lions' offensive line is too good. The Panthers' defensive line aren't going to be able to stop them every time. I'd give it a B+. It's not a perfect attempt, but pretty close. Defense is playing well, and again, it's the Panthers. Now, Lions fans, prepare for the next few. Everyone always says it's hard to rewatch the NFC Championship. They can't enjoy the highlights. I honestly am fine watching that game. This game is the one that really hurts my soul. Obviously, it's really sad. 4th and 8 against the Ravens. 0-28. I'd give this one a C. The game's not out of reach. Like, it's 28 points. It's going to be a really hard comeback. You need to get points. You're at midfield. Honestly, I like the punt here. I don't like just throwing it deep. I mean, the Ravens secondary just clamping the Lions the whole time, though. Next one, same score. Third quarter. Goff in the shotgun. Drops back. Looks, rolls out to his left a little bit, and finds St. Brown. I'd give this one a B. The defense didn't give up points at the end of the second half, and at this point in the game, you need points. You need to get on the board. This is almost a must go for it on fourth down situation. They picked up the first down. Love throwing it to St. Brown. Later in the drive, 4th and goal from about the 6.5-yard line. Goff drops back, throws it into tight coverage in the end zone. I'm giving it a B again. You need points here. You got to go for it. Unlucky it doesn't work out. The Ravens defense, this is just not the Lions game. And honestly, watching this game, week 7, the Lions were a whole nother team towards the end of the season and in the playoffs. Obviously, playoff football is a lot different. 35-0 now. Later in the third quarter, Goff, empty set, drops back, throws it deep for Williams. He was open, either miscommunication on Williams or Goff's end. Tosses it up into the end zone. Williams isn't even close. It's an interception. I'm giving this one a C because honestly, it's 4th and 1. You haven't scored any points. Obviously, you just want to get on the board. You're not really thinking about winning the game. They're trying to get Williams and Gibbs just some touches at this point. But I'd like just to run up the middle. Just keep it simple. Just try to pick up the first down. If you have nothing going for you, at least just try to pick up the first down. Don't go for an end zone shot. And I know going for an end zone shot on 4th and 1, the Raiders do it a lot. They did a lot with Adams. It's kind of like a, oh, it's 4th and short. They're going to run it, and then you go deep. But for this game, I would have liked them to see, just run up the middle, please. Pick up the first down. 4th and 10, 5 minutes left, 38-6. Gibbs scored his first NFL touchdown. Don't pick up the first down. It's a B. You got to go for it here. I mean, it's a must go for. Yeah, this game just makes me hurt inside. I remember just sitting there. I don't even know what to say. Watching this fucking game made me die. And the 6th time the Lions went for it on 4th down against the Ravens. 4th and 5. Still down by a large margin. Throw it to St. Brown on the outside. Pick up the first down. B. Got to go for it again. I love throwing it to St. Brown on 4th down. St. Brown's a stud, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Finally getting some recognition. People saying that, and nobody knew St. Brown before last season. Did no one watch him 2022? I mean, come on. The Lions were 2 for 6 on 4th down in this game, and when they've gotten blown out like this game, and then in 2022 against the Cowboys and the Patriots, that's just seems how it went. You know, they're 0 for 5, 1 for 5, 2 for 6 on 4th down conversions. Raiders, before the Lions bye, need a first down to run out the rest of the time. Play action, give it to Brock Wright. We love Brock Wright on 4th down. This one's an easy A. Pick up the first down, win the game. 4th and 5, Lions up by 7 towards the end of the first quarter, just outside the red zone. Hand off to Montgomery up the middle, fighting for the first down, and they get it. This is an A. Lions running all over the Chargers. Sad defense. Brandon Staley is finally gone. But I love this one because the Lions offensive line and Montgomery and Gibbs were just powering through the Chargers so far in this game. They're not going to expect to run up the middle on 4th and 5, and the Lions are capable of that. I love this play call. I love going for it here. Later in the drive with Campbell's logic, you went for it once, might as well drop your nuts again. Hand off to St. Brown on 4th and 1 to get the first down. Another A for me. I love handing it off to St. Brown with those trick plays. Usually always work out well. Great play call, great execution. Offensive line, again, destroys the Chargers. And then even later in the drive, 4th and goal. Goff drops back, gets pressured by an unblocked defensive lineman, and it's incomplete. 3 times in one drive is crazy. I have a C here, though, because it's running up the middle. The pass attempts prior were not working. You had 2 runs on 4th and goal. I know the Chargers might be expecting that, but that's what's working. Stick to it. And then unblocked lineman. Just don't love the play call here. I would have liked maybe a different passing play. Obviously, it's easier to say when it doesn't work, but I'm a big fan of when the Lions run it on 4th and 1 on the goal line. Later in the second quarter, 4th and 1, handoff to Gibbs, up the middle, touchdown. I would have liked them to see them do that earlier. Again, A. Keep putting up the points on the Chargers. You went for it already. Keep going for it. The Chargers defense is tired after this long drive. The Lions are the king of the trenches, and you're going to see a lot of this next year with their improved offensive line. And then the last one against the Chargers, I got a B here. 4th and 2. Goff in the shotgun, drops back, scans, looks through his progressions, finds Laporta. I love going to Laporta here. Laporta and St. Brown, always extremely reliable. Goff, also extremely reliable. I like going for it here. I like the play call. Go to your tight end. Nothing too crazy. However, the Lions defense was getting shredded, and they don't get this. Chargers have a chance to win the game, but I like going for it. It's just a little bit risky when you could just kick the field goal and take the lead. Now we're going to get to some of the bad ones. Packers, 4th and 4, Thanksgiving Day. The moon cycle ruined us. Goff gets sacked when he drops back. I got a beef for this one because field goal really isn't in the conversation here. Needs some points before half, and it's not the shortest field for Jordan Love. It's unlucky, though, that it does not work out. And then 4th and 5, 3rd quarter. The game's within reach now. And we direct snap it to Jalen Reeves-Maybin, and he stopped short. Fail. This is the worst one of the season. Just watching this makes me so mad. And honestly, this play it's probably one of the plays where all of the Dan Campbell haters and the people that hate on Dan Campbell for going for it on 4th down, this is one of the plays that justify their argument. This is one of the worst, I think the worst play of the whole season. I remember watching this game. The Lions are finally within reach. They don't get the 1st down, so they're just going to punt it away. And I remember thinking to myself, if they go for it here, I am going to lose my mind. I just kind of got this feeling, and they went for it. And here, the Lions have already gone for it once. People know they go for it, especially when they're losing in their own territory. They did this against the Chiefs. I felt like the Packers were ready for this. I felt like the whole world was ready for the Lions to go for it here. This was not a surprise. It wasn't a big fake. Caught nobody off guard. This is just the worst play call of the whole year. Fail. I hated this one. And even if it worked out, I would still rate it an F. I mean, nobody was going to be fooled on this one. I hate the Packers. They ruin everything. 4th quarter, down by 2 scores now. 13 minutes left, 4th and 7. This is a C for me. Goff in the shotgun with Gibbs in the backfield with him. 4 out wide. Drops back. Gibbs escapes the pocket. And Goff goes down. The ball is loose. I rate this one a C because you kick the field goal here. I know it doesn't bring it down to 1 score, but you need some points. Get some momentum going. Then pin them back deep off the kickoff. 4th and 7, it's not that close. Still a lot of time left. I understand going for it at some point. Honestly, this is a C-. This is one of the games where the offense is struggling, and you just need some momentum here. 4th and 7 is not easy, and if you couldn't get 10 yards through 3 downs, what makes you think you're going to get 7 on 4th down? Just don't like this play here at all, and it doesn't work out. Later in the same quarter, another 4th and 7, another opportunity to take a field goal, but here you really can't. 7 minutes left in the game. Goff rolls out to his right. Can't find Laporta on the reroute. They turn the ball over once again. In the last 4th down attempt against the Packers, Gibbs escapes up and dump off, and they convert. Finally, they were 1 of 5 in this game. Like this one, they did the same play right before. Picked up a few yards, make it 4th and short. The defense and secondary is spread deep because the Lions are down by a lot. Doesn't really matter for the Packers or the Lions. Kind of just whatever. Another tough divisional game for the Lions. 1 of 5 on 4th down in this game as well. Here, 4th and 10. This is another F. This is probably the 2nd worst call, I'd say, on 4th down for the Lions. A forced fumble there by Waymo and St. Brown. Sadly, it goes out of bounds. But here, Campbell, what are you thinking? You're on the road, down by 10, and it's 4th and 10, and just the 2nd quarter is just starting. Punt the ball. At least a long field goal attempt, but punt the ball. There is no need to go for it here on 4th and 10. No need. This is a punt. Like, you're not going to make that field goal. Soldier Field. Later in the season, it's cold. But come on. Like, this is a terrible play call. The interception isn't the worst thing in the world. It's kind of a small arm punt. Interceptions on 4th down, honestly better. I don't know why they're going to intercept it for the stats. And it's kind of hard maybe to untrain your brain to not intercept the ball and maybe you get a good return. But what are we doing here? This is an F. Terrible play call here, and it kind of sets up the game for failure. 5 minutes later, same score, almost the same position, but now it's 4th and 3. Honestly, I'm okay with the 4th and 3 call. Goff delivers a laser down to the Peoples-Jones. Pick up a good amount of yards. 1st down. I'm going to give this one a C because honestly, again, 0 to 10. Defense didn't give up any points in the last possession, even though the Bears had a short field. Just punt the ball and pin them deep if you're not going to make that long of a field goal. But it is 4th and short. I just don't like this after you failed on 4th and 10. Just if you don't go for it on 4th and 10, it creates a whole nother scenario here, and it just messes it up. Don't make a terrible call like that early in the game, because it can just mess up the entire game. 4th and 1, 12:15 left. You're down by 2 scores, 12 points. Hand off to Gibbs to the outside, and he's stuffed. Loses 4 yards. This is the D. I like the run call. However, it's not straight up the middle. I feel like that would have given the Lions higher odds. And it's kind of a delayed handoff. Maybe they're trying to allude to the pass. The offensive line gets destroyed. The Lions aren't having themselves a game. But I don't like it here. You're in your own territory. Still a ton of time left. Why are we going for it there? It is 4th and 1, and they ran the ball. That's why it's not an F. But this is the D. Another bad call. And, I mean, these calls could have been the reason why the Lions lost this game, to be honest. Here's 4th and 17. What the fuck? I mean, you got to go for it here. I'll give it a B-. He almost gets the pass to St. Brown. Almost an incredible play. This would have been insane to have another comeback against the Bears, down by 2 scores late in the 4th quarter. But 4th and 17, you have 2 timeouts. I almost think you have a better chance of pinning it deep, try to get the stop, because your defense is playing pretty, like, not the best, but it wasn't playing terrible in this game. I don't know. It's a tough one. 4th and 17 is just impossible. I mean, if you don't go for it earlier, you're not in this position. I feel like the Lions, when they're playing bad, then Dan Campbell tries to make up for it and gamble. He might be a gambling addict. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. And I love the grit. It's just like there's a few games over the last 2 seasons. The Bears here, the Ravens, not as bad, but really the Packers and Bears game, and then 2 years ago, the Cowboys and Patriots game, where the team's just not playing good, and they keep going for it on 4th down. They keep putting themselves in deeper holes, but it almost seems like they're praying they can just get one break and convert a long 4th down. Like, it'll be an anomaly. And this one I'm not grading. It's 4th and 24. I don't even know what to do for it. The game's over. Yeah, Goff gets picked off. I don't really know what the deal was. I think this game was over. Not really much to say. It's just sad. Sad if you're a Lions fan. But if you're a Bears fan, it's like, fuck you, Lions. The Lions made up for it, though. Went 7 of 8 on 4th down attempts throughout the last 4 games of the regular season here against the Broncos. Game's pretty much over. The Lions were dropping their nuts. Goff drops back, finds Laporta in the end zone. I love it. It's an A. Protection's amazing. Call's amazing. The Lions' offense was unstoppable. I love adding another touchdown on. Teams that get mad, or coaches in any sport really, that get frustrated, like when a team hits a home run in the bottom of the 9th when they're already up by however many runs. The game's not over until the clock hits 0. And if someone did that to me, I would not complain about it. If someone's racking up the points, like when the Dolphins scored 70, kick the field goal, set the record. Who cares? I mean, if your team's getting beat that bad, it's embarrassing. Why should a team have to feel charitable for your feelings? I mean, the game's not over until it hits 0. Like, if it's close, you don't stop. Why should you stop if it's not close? 4th and 1 against the Vikings. The Lions down by 4. Hand it off to Jahmyr Gibbs. Makes a cut. Takes it up the field and is tripped after a huge pickup. Love the play calling. Love the offensive line. This is a B+ for me. I've said it like 1,000 times already. Love when the Lions run it up the middle on 4th and short. And Gibbs is just a beast. Later in the drive, another 4th and short. This is an A as Goff keeps it and sneaks it up the middle. The Vikings were not expecting that. What a play call by Ben Johnson. This is just amazing here. Great execution. Nobody saw that coming. Against the Cowboys, 4th and 2. Lions down by 4. The direct snap to Jalen Reeves-Maybin, who throws it to Dorsey for the huge pickup. This is probably the second best one yet. I'd say the one against KC was even better, but Jalen Reeves-Maybin, obviously a dog. We all know he's the best special teams player probably in the NFL. And just what patience to roll out to your right, fake the run, and what a throw. And the balls and the Lions to do this, they must have practiced this a million times. This is just a fantastic play. This is what I'm talking about. The fakes like this where nobody sees it coming, it usually always works for the Lions. I mean, it does every time it works for the Lions when nobody sees it coming. Later in the drive, it's 4th and goal. Lions still down by 4. Goff drops back, pressured, steps into the pocket, looks left, throws to Laporta, and it's incomplete. The Cowboys defense was doing really good in this game. I have a C for this one. I really like the attempt to go for it. It's a big game for the Lions, but the Cowboys defense isn't giving you anything all game so far. And what makes you think now you're going to be able to sneak into the end zone? You've had to pull out every trick in the book to get this far down the field. Take the points, please. Another 4th and 2. Lions still down by 4. Just out of field goal range. Goff in the shotgun with Monty in the backfield. Throws it out to Laporta to pick up the first down. Great execution. Great play design. Great call. Throw it to Laporta. Get your guy one-on-one outside after they set him in motion. Great pickup. B+ here for me. Week 18 Vikings. 4th and 1. Just across midfield. Up by 7 early in the game. Handed off to Gibbs. He'll give you the first down. I like this. You did it 2 weeks ago against the Vikings. The Vikings have showed they can't stop the run. They can't stop Gibbs. Makes sense to go for this right here. I don't think the Lions were really scared here as well. I feel like they're feeling comfortable. Another 4th and 1. Lions up by 7. 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Play action fake to Monty. Goff rolls out to his right. Finds Peoples-Jones for the huge pickup. This is an A because they kept going for it on 4th down against the Vikings earlier in this game and in their first meeting during the season just 2 weeks prior. They kept running up the middle on 4th down. So play action. It's going to fake the defense. Playoffs time. 4th and 1. Lions down by 4. Goff drops back and finds Laporta in the back of the end zone. It's going to be another crazy year with all the threats the Lions have in the red zone. Is he going to hand it off to Monty? Is he going to find St. Brown? Is it going to be Laporta? Nobody knows. Lions offensive line held strong. Great play call. The only reason I'm hesitant to grade this higher is because the Lions could have taken a 7-point lead, and the Rams were one of the hottest teams in the NFL. But they dropped their balls. A little bit of a risky play. Their offense was moving, and when the Lions offense is moving, the defense usually can't stop them on 4th down, but if they're like barely scraping by down the field, no big plays, just lots of small plays, a lot of 3rd down conversions, I think that's when they should really consider not going for it on 4th down. Divisional round, 4th and goal, handoff to Reynolds. Wasn't supposed to be Reynolds in there, but he gets the touchdown to give the Lions a 7-point lead. I like going for it here. Again, same reason as the Rams offense was moving, wasn't being able to be stopped. Just put it up the middle again. I love running up the middle on 4th and short. NFC Championship time. 4th and 2. Lions up by 14. What the? How did this happen? Just outside the red zone too, and Reynolds drops it. I got an A here. I love the play. You're up by 14. Your offense is unstoppable. Goff is in the zone. Drops back, avoids the pressure. Makes a beautiful throw to Reynolds. And he drops it. I'll defend these going for on 4th downs for the rest of my life. The Lions were in the zone here. They have all the momentum in the world. Goff makes it. Everything was perfect. I mean, sure, it's a bit risky. I feel like the drop gives the 49ers even more momentum and kills in like the Lions' negative momentum more than if the Lions just got stuffed or something. 4th and 3. Lions down by 3. 30-yard line. Goff, empty set, drops back. Looks across, has a man open coming across the field. Rolls up to his right and throws to St. Brown. Can't connect. He had Williams open, though. I give this one B+. I like going for it here. Kind of far outside of field goal range. Don't really want to give it back to Purdy. And they had a man open. Their offense was so unstoppable in this game. And it wasn't even like big fails or Goff gets sacked. It was just... And then Lions down by 10, 56 seconds left. 4th and goal. Goff drops back, looks, finds Waymo in the back of the end zone. Great throw, great catch. Love this play here. Lions scored a touchdown in each of their playoff games on 4th down, which is pretty interesting. I know this one didn't really count, but it's always nice to have. And this is a great ball thrown. This is a great catch. That's the end of all 45 times the Lions went for it on 4th down. During the regular and postseason, 40 times, regular season, 5 times postseason. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this content, like, subscribe, helps me out a lot. Pretty interesting. Definitely some times where the Lions should not have gone for it. Definitely some times where they should have gone for it and they did, and it didn't work out. And sometimes when they went for it and they did, and it worked out. some interesting play calls, a lot of trick plays. It'll be really fun to see what happens next year. I think the Lions just need to not kick themselves in the foot. They're down early. Don't try to go for it all and leave it all on the table so early in the game. You know, take it slow for a little bit. You don't see Patrick Mahomes going for it when they're down 10 points in the second quarter when it's 4th and 2, not even across midfield yet. He knows what he's capable of. We know what our offense is capable of. Let's not be so risky. Now, there are times, like I thought in the NFC Championship, every time the Lions went for it, I thought that was fine to go for it there. They are hungry. They wanted it. Their offense was unstoppable. It puts the defense on their heels. It scares them. But there's certain times where I think the Lions get a little bit too risky. Dan Campbell kind of it's more gambling rather than, all right, let's make the best play possible. The statistics, the analytics, they're always going to tell you to go for it, no matter what. You know, they always see analytics say go for it, and that's what they always say go for it on 4th and short. I mean, you just got to make the decision. Don't look at the analytics. Look at like things like this. Watch all the times you went for it or didn't go for it. Watch it all back and see, where did you make mistakes? What could you have done better? What did you do good? So I think this is all pretty interesting. I'm excited to see what Dan Campbell does next year. Hopefully it's a bit better. But I think overall it was pretty good. The bad games, sure, they went 1 for 5 against Chicago and Green Bay and 2 for 6 against Baltimore. But those are just bad games. Except in the Chicago game and Green Bay game, there was one really, really bad play from each of those games. The fake punt. Then down by 10, going for it on 4th and 10 against the Bears. So a lot of people hate Dan Campbell and criticize him for going for it and not going for it at certain times. And you know what? There is definitely a small argument to be made there. It's not all perfect. There's definitely times where he messes up, and I think he owns up to that. Hopefully he's learning again this offseason. I mean, the Lions are getting better every year. And hopefully, you know, it doesn't come down to a 4th down. Hopefully the Lions are just good enough. I think they will be good enough where it won't come down to a 4th down, whether they win or lose, or a 2-point conversion. Dallas, again, thanks for watching. Buck the Packers.